Hi, welcome to Do Yoga with the Phoenix. For those of you that have been following the sequence, today's we've only got one lift left, and that's the conventional deadlift. So we're going to do a sequence that's primarily designed to help with that. So I hope you enjoy. Namaste. So we're going to start with our warm-up in a standing posture. So coming to standing, and we're just going to flex a little bit through the spine, but always. So firstly, just taking the hands up over the head and seeing how tall we can grow. Nice and tall through the spine, tall as we can get. Taking a few breaths here, pushing the shoulders back, pushing the arms back to stretch into that area, get some manipulation there, taking a nice big deep breath in, lengthening and coming over as far as we can to the right hand side. Nice and deep into the right hand side. Keep the feet together, feel the stretch down the side body. Good, feeling good stretch down the side body. Drive this posture with the pelvis. So coming up, we're just warming up, don't go too deep just yet. And then we're going to come over to the other side. Don't be surprised, one side feels a lot different to the other. Pushing over this way, good, coming out of that, and then just let it go. Just a little bit of movement through the hands and shoulders. Okay, all right, going to take it again, taking the hands up nice and tall, coming over to the right hand side. This time we're going to give it a little bit more grunt, push into it a little bit. Use the breath to drive the posture. Pull the hand over with the other hand. So the right hand is pulling the left hand over. Biceps with the ears if possible. Breathing here, pushing the pelvis out. Good. Coming back to the central position. Taking a nice big deep breath in. And coming over to the other side. Breathing here. Just getting the spine nice and flexy. Good, and coming out. And from there, taking the hands down and then just folding forward. Okay, so we're just going to fold forward in the posture. This is just a standard forward fold. Nice and easy to start. Bring the hands down to stabilize yourself, let the head drop. And then you can lift the pelvis up if it's available to you. But right now, I just want you to just really feel the spine opening up. Dropping through the spine here, dropping through it. Just letting everything, make sure the head's nice and loose. Taking a couple of breaths here, and then sweeping the hands up, coming up, back up to standing posture, stretching it up. Good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a back bend. So what I'd like you to do here is just give yourself a little bit of support through the legs, open up the legs a little bit, push the hands back, and then draw a line along the ceiling, stretching the body back, giving a nice big back bend, looking for the wall behind you or whatever is behind you. Use the eyes, so the eyes go, the body will follow. Breathe here and let it go. Good. First back bend, now just going to fold forward again, forward folding. This time we're going to pick up the heels with the fingers and have the fingers facing forward. Let the head drop down, pull the body down, lift the pelvis up. Now you've got some leverage here to pull, 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 push the knees back and let it go. Just take your time coming forward into a semi-forward fold, lifting the pelvis forward, pull the shoulders down, lifting forward, pushing the knees back, taking a couple of breaths here, coming up into a standing posture, and then just take the hands out in front of you so that they're stretching out in front of you, and twist it around. Twisting around here, just getting a little twist in the spine. Back to central, and another twist. Good, and then coming back to relax. All right, next, this is kind of a bit of a warm-up for you, and you know, often yoga is very similar to what we do in strength and any kind of exercise. Yoga is an exercise, but as a lot of it's formatted the same. And I'm going to do a video on that because you know, some people think that there's a huge difference. There really isn't. So we just do a little bit of warm-up, then we do a main set, then we do a cool-down. Simple. All right, so coming into what we might call the main set, if you want to use that terminology because you're familiar with it, we're going to take the legs relatively wide outside the shoulders and then just drop the pelvis down. Now you might want to take more of what your conventional deadlift style is, maybe a little bit closer in, and then drop the pelvis down. Opening up the knees, breathing here, letting the bum drop down, and just holding. Now this posture, I would strongly recommend that you did this posture at all times. This posture is just going to open up everything. It's one of my favorite yoga postures. And a lot of people find this very simple. And then there's a lot of people that find it very hard. And if you're one of the people that find it extremely hard, then just come forward on your hands like this, or you can lean up against the wall. That makes it easier. And if you're on your hands like this, eventually you can just let the heels fall back over time, and so that you come in like this. When I first started doing this, believe me, I was like this. I was kind of like here, about there, and over the 10 years or so that I've been doing yoga, I've finally got myself down into what can be considered a reasonable posture. So yeah, so it's taken a while. But it's been a journey, and it's always a journey. It's never a destination with this. Same with weights, powerlifting is, where's the destination? Are you ever finished? Probably not. So we're never finished with this as well. We're always going to get the returns. We put the effort in. All right, and then just gently coming out of that pose there. All right, so we're going to just open up the back of the leg a little bit now into the butt rather than the hamstrings. And of course, as you know, in the deadlift, the butt is a big driver in the lift. So we're going to take the right leg forward in this instance, and then we're just going to come over there and stretch the left leg back as far as we can. Now, if your butt gets on the ground, that's fabulous. If it doesn't, then you can put something underneath it, like a block or a bolster, and then coming down over and letting that be there. Let the mind and the body connect. Coming out of that, back to kneeling, taking the same leg forward this time, and we're just going to drop down. Now, this is called Ardha Humanasana, and Ardha in Sanskrit, you'll hear it all the time, it means half. So this is half, the half splits, in other words. So it's a great posture. It will do the whole back of the leg, which is fabulous. But if you want to take this into a full split, then what I like to do, right, is get something to put my hands on, and then I'll take the other leg back, and I'll take this leg forward. All right, now, Now that's it for me as far as the splits are concerned, and I'm just going to hold myself up here and let the body sink down into it. Lift the chest up to get that back bend and allowing the posture just to develop here. Now if this is too much for you, you just come out of it. People are scared of the splits, but it's just the same as any other posture. As you can see, my pelvis is a long way off the ground, but I'm still getting the benefit from the posture. So in other words, I'm opening up my hamstrings on the right leg and working the hip too, and on the left leg I'm getting huge stretch into the hip flexors. The opening up, lifting up the chest down in a little bit of a back bend too. I like to use the bolster because that gives me a bit of leverage, but you don't have to, it's not necessary. And the closer you are to the ground, the less support you'll need. And then just coming up out of that. Good. All right, from here we're going to take the other side. So pigeon on the other side. Taking the right leg forward, sorry, the left leg forward, taking the right leg back. Then I just walk the knee back till I start to really feel that energy in the butt and down the side of the leg into ITB band. That's what I'm looking for. Then once I've got that, then I can come down to wherever I want. Might be here, right? That feels pretty good for me. So, or I might come down a little bit further onto my hands, or I might just come all the way down. It really doesn't matter, right, as long as I'm feeling the energy and what I'm actually trying to achieve in the posture. As I've said many times before, it's always about form over depth. Same as when you're doing weights. If you've got bad style and you're going too heavy, you're not going anywhere with that lift. So bring the weight down. Get your style and your form sorted, and then put the weight back on again once that's sorted. And yoga's the same, except we talk about form, in other words, the shape of the posture over the depth. So it's always form over depth. The depth will come from the form, but the form won't come from depth. So same, you can see how similar a lot of the thinking is. Right, just following the breath. Good, and then coming out of that. So once again, options. And the option is to come into what we call Ardha Humanasana, which is just the hamstring stretch. So this is when I'm just getting into the hammies, or coming into the full version of the posture where I like to use a bolster, but you don't have to, where you take the right leg back and then the left leg forward, and then just let the posture develop here. And if you feel the body lets go a little bit, then you can come down deeper into it. Good, and come out then. Alright, so we're just going to take a little flow now, this is sometimes called classic Surya Namaskar. Surya means sun and Namaskar means salutation or salute. So we're gonna do that. Salute the sun. So if you tuck your toes over, and then you just drive up into a downward facing dog. So I want you to stretch through the hamstrings, but also the lower back, and which is really actually more important. So pushing the pelvis up. Good. Taking the right leg up, so lifting the knee and dropping it over the left leg, feeling that stretch opening up the hip. Breathe here, forward with the leg. And then we're going to just drop the left leg down, coming into a lunge. Back into that lunging position. So if you were doing the half version of the split, then you need this. We always need this anyway. Hoping hip flexors, so important, right? Just letting the body drop down into this a little bit. Good, and then come out of that, take that leg around, and then we're just going to take the other leg around. So we've got our left leg forward once again, just coming down into the splits, sorry, into the half split, or lunge. Should I say, forget that, lunge is what I meant. I don't edit them that much, so that'll be in. Okay. Alright, and then from here, coming down, bringing both hands and feet together. So you're in a tabletop posture, and then dropping the chin and the chest. From here you can walk the knees as far forward as you can get them. Getting that back bend, strengthening here. Take the legs out. And now nice strong into the lower back. Now what I want you to do is I want you to slip your feet together so you're feeling the ankles and the heels touching each other. Toes are pointed. And then we're going to just lift up. So this is not doing much. The hands aren't doing much. They're just kind of stabilizing you a little bit to get a little bit lift. Engage through the legs and the glutes. Lift the chest up with the lower back. Looking forward or up. Cobra posture. Coming back up into a tabletop posture. Right, just taking a couple of cat-cows. Alright, toes under. And then we're going to jump forward back into Malasana again. And then standing up, coming in to Tadasana. Tadasana, mountain posture. Taking a nice big deep breath in, stretching up, folding forward, jumping or stepping back into plank. Alright, we're going to hold plank for a little while now. Nice and engaged through everything. It's paramount that we have a strong core in any of our lifts really, particularly the deadlift and the squat. So there's nothing like planking. Planking for getting you nice and strong here. Taking a few breaths here. Taking the left hand in front underneath the face, coming into a side plank. Folding forward, bringing the right hand there, side plank other side. Working obliques. Coming back to planking. And now we're going to come into low plank. Toes out, upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Stretching through the spine. Taking the right leg forward, bringing it forward and coming up into a warrior one posture. Warrior one, strong. Warrior two, stronger. Rolling forward, plank. chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing, left leg forward, warrior one, warrior two, and stepping forward. Relax. We've got some rain, there's a tin roof here, and so we're getting some rain. That's the external noise, it's good. It's been so dry here in West Australia. Just allowing the body to relax a little bit. Okay, we're going to take a couple of postures that are strengthening, and I know we do a lot of strength work, but they just work the muscle a different way, something that we're perhaps not used to, which is going to aid in our deadlift. So, firstly we're just going to take the hands out like this, and then just sit down in the chair. Sit down in a chair, and then come forward into it, taking the hands back. Nice and flat. Alright, so as you can see, we're kind of in a deadlift situation now. Lengthening through the spine, sucking the tummy on, stretching the hands back, holding here. Hands forward, swivel into a full chair, and then standing up. Alright, take a nice big deep breath in, full forward. This time what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap the hands around the arms, bring the feet together, wrap the hands around the back of the legs, and lift up through the pelvis. Stretching out that back. Dropping the hands down, and then just bringing the knees down. Alright. We're going to stretch out a little bit into the traps. Trapezius get a bit of hammering in the conventional and the sumo deadlift, so we're going to do a gentle back bend, but it's really working into the traps a lot. So we're going to just take the hands out in front of us, then bring the head down, and keep the pelvis over the knees. Walk the fingers out as long as you can get them. Keep walking them out. Good, coming back. Dropping the butt down onto the heels. And then just slipping forward, so we've got our legs out in front of us. Legs out in front. Okay. Bring the hands down so that they, firstly you're going to have, just stretch up, feel the energy through the spine. Then take the hands around so that they're facing, the fingers are facing away from you. And I want you to open up the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Just sit nice and tall here, nice and open through the shoulder. Squeeze them together. Good, let go of that. Take the hands up, sweep them up, and then fold forward. Now if you need to bend your knees to pick up the feet, that's fine, bend your knees. And then what you can do is pull the body down. Now, if you can, we're looking to straighten out the legs. Now, the chest might come away from the thigh, that's fine, because we're looking not so much to be flat, we want to round through the spine and pull down. Let go of that. Take the right leg over the left. Take the left arm around the thigh. Take the right hand to the base of the spine. Lift up and twist. Let go of that. Take the other side. Twist. Good, let go of that. Then we're just going to come down, Shavasana. Relax, let go of everything. Good. Let's roll over into fetal posture. Coming up out of the posture. Sitting on a bolster. Bringing the other foot in front, so if your right leg is in front, always put the left one in front. Bring the hands into Namaskar, taking a nice big deep breath in. Keep the hands with the heart center. May we have love in our hearts. Bring the hands to the lips. May we have truth in the speech. Hands to the forehead. May we have gratitude in the mind. Hands back down to the heart center. Bow the head. Namaste. Thank you for having a look and follow through. Do a few of them. Do them before or after your lifts. If you loved it, subscribe anyway. Thank you very much for your support. We'll see you next time.